Hello everybody, and in today's video we're gonna make a Christmas meal. As you can see, I have my Christmas tree behind me, and this is a Christmas special. What we're gonna make is roast beef with broccolini, fudge, and my grandma's special eggnog. So without further ado, subscribe, support a small channel, and let's get into the video. Okay, so we're gonna start with our eggnog, but the first element to making this eggnog is actually making ice cream. The first thing we're gonna do to make the ice cream is we're gonna add in 2 cups of heavy cream. Now we're gonna add in a cup of milk. Now we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now we're gonna add in a pinch of salt. Now we're gonna add in 3/4 a cup of sugar. Now we are going to whisk this until there are no lumps left. Turn our ice cream maker on. Now we're gonna pour our ice cream mixture in. Now we're gonna let that mix for about 20 minutes. While the ice cream maker's making the ice cream, we're gonna cut up some marshmallows for the fudge. So this is about a bag of marshmallows. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start by cutting them in half. We're gonna cut these halves into quarters. Now finally, we're gonna cut the quarters into eighths. Okay, the ice cream has been in here for about 20 minutes and it is done. Now we're gonna put it into this container. And obviously, this is our ice cream that we put in this container. Now we're gonna come over here and put this in the freezer for 4 hours. Dun dun, na na na, na na. Now that we've cut up our marshmallows, we're gonna add in 3 cups of chocolate chips to that. So I just buttered this pan. Now what we're going to do in this pot is we're gonna add in 12 ounces of evaporated milk. Add in a teaspoon of salt to the evaporated milk. Now this might sound like a lot, but we're gonna add in 3 1/3 cups of sugar to the evaporated milk and salt mixture. We just brought the pot with the evaporated milk mixture and we're gonna turn it on to medium heat. Now we're gonna stir the sugar until it dissolves. Now that the sugar has dissolved, we're gonna let it come to a boil and stir it occasionally. Now that it's been cooking for 5 minutes, we're gonna check the temperature and see if it's at 225. Cook the mixture off the heat and now we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now we're gonna pour in our marshmallow and chocolate chip mixture into the candy mixture. Now we are going to stir the chocolate chips and marshmallow in until it fully melts. Now that we fully stirred it up, we're gonna dish this into the pan. Now that we put it in the pan, we're gonna let it rest on the stove to cool off for about an hour. And then we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. Okay, so now let's move on to the roast beef. So right here, we have an eye round roast. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna season this eye round roast with salt and pepper. Now that we seasoned the beef, we're gonna come over here, we're gonna put our oven on 500 and set it to bake. Now we're gonna add in our meat thermometer to the roast beef. Now we're gonna put our beef onto the roasting pan. Wait a second. When I'm drinking water, am I drinking myself? So now we're gonna put it in the oven for 10 minutes at 500 degrees. Then we're gonna turn the oven off. And it's gonna be in there for 40 minutes until it reaches a temperature of 140. Okay, now let's move on to making our broccolini. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our broccolini and put it in this bowl. Now we're gonna add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into our broccolini. We're gonna mix it together with our hands. After we mix the oil in, we're gonna add in some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Let's mix this up. Okay, now that we mix that together, we're gonna let this rest. And we're gonna come back to that later. Let's move on to making the rest of our eggnog. The first thing that we're gonna do is we have our 4 eggs and we're gonna separate the yolks and the whites. The whites are gonna go in here and the yolks are gonna go in here. Let me show you how to do this. This is to have clean hands. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna crack an egg like you normally would. Then with your clean hands, you're gonna just grab the yolk out of it. Gonna pull some strings. Then you're gonna bring your yolk and put it in here. You're gonna take your whites and you're gonna put it in. Now we have our egg whites here and we're gonna beat them until they turn into soft peaks. Okay, so now the stiff peaks have started to form. So right now we have 2/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream and we're gonna add it into this bowl. So now we're gonna beat this heavy whipping cream until it gets to the same soft peaks that our egg whites did. Now that we're done beating the heavy cream, we're gonna put it in the freezer. So now we're gonna add in to our egg yolks 4 cups of milk. Now we're gonna add into this mixture 2/3 a cup of sugar. Now we're gonna beat this until it is light and fluffy. Okay, we beat this and now it is light and fluffy. As we were beating this, we took the ice cream out of the freezer and we filled up 2/3 of a pint of ice cream. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add it into this mixture, but we have to beat it slowly because it might splatter. So we just took our whipped heavy cream out of the freezer and now we're gonna put it into this bowl and mix it. Last but not least, we're gonna add in our whipped egg whites to the bowl. Also, at the lowest speed, we are going to gently mix it in. Eggnog was done, so we put that aside until serving. Now what we're gonna do is our roast beef just got to basically the perfect temperature. So now we're gonna take it out and let it rest. For the broccolini, we're gonna preheat the air fryer to 350 degrees. Now that it's done preheating, we're gonna add in our broccolini for 8 minutes. Now it's time for the taste test. By the way, we put nutmeg on top of the eggnog. Okay, let's start with the broccolini. Pretty good. Now the roast beef. That's really good. Now we're gonna take a bit of fudge. And now, let's try our eggnog. That's good. That's really good. That's amazing.